Holes? What hole does the tampon go in? Welcome to my channel, Dr. Kathy at your cervix. My name is Dr. Kathy Wolf. I've been an award-winning OBGYN, and I was a registered nurse prior to that. I am not a substitute for your physician, but I'm here to help answer some of your women's healthcare questions. Today, I'm going to teach you how to put a tampon in. Tampons come in different sizes, as you can see. So when you're going to start for the first time, you want to choose a small and slender one. So you can look for ones that are for beginners or for tweens. There's many different brands. The different sizes actually have to do with the different absorbency and how heavy your periods are. But definitely for the first time, you want to get the smallest one that you can. There's different kinds of applicators. These are all plastic ones. Some come with cardboard applicators, and some come with no applicators at all. And it's really just a personal preference of which one you prefer to use. The first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out which hole the tampon goes in. I have two different models today that I'm going to use to help show you. One is a paper mache model, the other one's a little bit more realistic. First, I need to give an anatomy lesson. This is just the paper mache model. So there's three holes that you have. The first one is your urethra. It's a really small hole. This is where the tube that goes from your outside to your bladder is. So the urethra is where your urine comes out of, or where you pee from. That hole is so tiny, there's no way you can get a tampon up there, even the smallest. It would be incredibly painful. That hole is right above your vaginal opening. The next hole is your rectum, and that's actually where your bowel movements come from, or your stool, or your poop. So I think you'll know that hole, and that's not the one you want to put the tampon in. And then the third hole is your vagina. It is not a gaping hole like this. It has tissue in it. So in order for you to see your vagina, one of the things you might want to do is go to the bathroom, put a clean towel down on the floor, get a mirror, and then what you're going to do is you're going to open up, this is your labia, or some people call it your lips, and you're going to spread that, and you'll be able to see the vaginal opening. And again, it's not going to be a gaping hole, but you'll be able to see where that opening goes. The other thing is you want to be in a very quiet atmosphere. It can cause anxiety trying to put a tampon in for the first time. So you don't need your little brother beating on the door while you're trying to do this. So you really want to do it when it's quiet and you can be relaxed. Okay, so now you have figured out where your vaginal opening is. So now let's get on to business and talk about how putting a tampon in. So the first thing you really want to do is wash your hands. Then you want to get your tampon. So you want to get your little tampon. This is the string that you'll need to help pull it out. And you want to make sure, some of these new ones you have to actually click this way for them to be able to use them. How are you going to stand, or how are you going to get what position in order to put a tampon in? So you can either stand with your feet apart, like shoulder width, and kind of squat, bend your knees a little bit. You can also put one foot up on the toilet seat, so you're standing with one leg straight, one leg up on the toilet seat, or you can lie down in bed with your knees bent and sort of shoulder width apart. You really need two hands in order to put the tampon in. So you're going to take one hand and separate your labia so that you can get to the vaginal opening. And so at the beginning, that's what you're going to start with. You're going to take the tampon and you're going to hold it sort of a little bit like a pencil. So you're going to hold it in between your fingers. And then you're going to insert it into the vaginal opening up until that first part of it is almost right to the edge. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold that tampon and you're going to push the second part up. And once that's in, then you're going to pull back and the tampon will stay in. And this is what a tampon looks like without the applicator. You really need to get that applicator up through that first part, up to like that ring. Otherwise, the tampon won't be all the way in your vagina, and then it hurts and it's uncomfortable. I want to talk about the angle that you put the tampon in. So if you are sitting or lying down, your vagina is going to be more this way. You don't want to put it straight up. What you want to do is you want to put it, your vagina angles downward. So you actually want to go kind of towards your back. So you want to have almost a 45-degree angle. This is the more realistic model, and these are your labia or your lips. And so what you'll need to do is you're going to use two hands. You're going to separate your labia so that you can see your vaginal opening. And then you're going to take your tampon and you're going to angle it towards your back until you get that first part of the applicator almost all the way in. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push that second part of the applicator in. And once you get that all the way in, then you're going to remove the applicator. You're going to have a string hanging out, and the tampon is going to remain in. Now, for some women, they don't like the string hanging out, and what they do is they just roll it and tuck it so that it's not hanging out. I think the two most important things are that you have to separate yourself and the angle. The angle is almost like a 45-degree angle heading towards your back. So depending on how you are, if you are sitting on the toilet, you're going to be angled a little bit more like that. If you're lying down, you're going to be like that, but you do not want to go upwards. Once you have the tampon in and you have your plastic applicator remaining, don't flush this down the toilet. It is not flushable. With all of this said and all of these directions, know that it may take you several attempts before you actually get the tampon in. So don't be discouraged. It'll happen if it's something that you really want to happen. Now, how do you get the tampon out? You pull on the string. Don't worry, it can't get lost in your vagina. Your vagina is self-contained. The tampon can't go up into your uterus. It can't go anywhere else, so you'll be able to get it out. I did read online, a couple of women said that the strings pulled off the tampon while they were trying to pull it out. I've never heard of that happening, but if it does, you're gonna have to just take your finger and your thumb and go up and scoop it out. You can get it out. What are the dangers from using a tampon? Toxic shock syndrome is a serious complication that can happen from using tampons. It happens when you leave a tampon in too long. It's a rare complication. It only occurs in 1 in 100,000 women who use tampons. Know the symptoms of toxic shock: a sudden high fever, a rash that looks like sunburn, especially on your hands or feet, stomach ache, muscle aches, facial redness, and diarrhea. Wash your hands before inserting a tampon. Change your tampons at least every 4 to 8 hours. Some people say don't leave the tampon in overnight. Toxic shock syndrome is not contagious. It is treatable if caught early. So good luck. Remember, it may take several attempts before you're successful at putting a tampon in. Now let's go to the Howl of Hope. By being yourself, you put something wonderful in the world that was not there before. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have an inspirational quote that you would like to leave below in the comments, please do. If you have questions you'd like to see me answer or a topic that you'd like to see me address, please leave that in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching.